Okay, so the first thing that I just want to go ahead and mention to you in regards to opening data in SPSS is that it's generally easier to open the software first and then from within there select the particular data set that you're trying to open rather than simply double clicking the data set wherever you might have it saved on your computer. So as you can see here, I've gone ahead and opened the software, and I'm presented the first time I open it with this introduction window. This gives me a few different options to, for example, to open a data set or another type of file, to run the tutorial, enter my own data, things of that nature. I mentioned that it shows me this the first time because I do have the option to no longer show this introduction box in the future down here, should I so choose. However, personally, I do not select that option because I think that the introduction window is a very convenient way to open data. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because that is our focus for this video. Since the data has already been made available to you for download, it is obviously an existing data source. So we're going to focus our attention here in this area. You'll notice that I have these different file extensions in here. What these are simply the different data files that I've opened in SPSS on this computer in the past. If this is your first time opening SPSS, you won't have opened data before, obviously, so you will not see any file extensions here. However, the option that you will have available is to select more files. Since we are opening the A and ES data today, I will point out that because it is here, I could actually select it here and click OK and it would open up for me. However, for illustration purposes, we're going to go ahead and select more files and click OK. What this is going to bring up is a browser window to simply find where your data is stored. Mine happens to be stored on the desktop. You can see it right here, anesdata.sav. So I select that file. This is a good opportunity to point out that the data in SPSS has the file extension .sav. There's several different kinds of files in SPSS, so if you see the .sav, you know that that is a data file. So we've got that there. We'll go ahead and select Open, and the software is going to go ahead and load up the data for us. And you're actually going to notice that there were two windows that opened up here in SPSS, so I just want to very quickly point out to you what those different windows are. The first one here that looks kind of blank, this is actually the output window. Basically what this is doing is this is recording everything that you do during your session on SPSS, whether that's creating a new variable or recoding one, things of that nature. It's going to just make a note here for you. And also anytime that you request a graph or a table or anything like that, that will actually be produced here, regression tables, things of that nature. Don't worry about that, we'll talk about all of that later on. So right now, just know that it's there, so we're going to go ahead and minimize that for now. And the other window that you're going to see is the variable and data window. So if you come down here, you can see that I have the option to click on data view here or variable view. And as you can see, the variable view is already selected. So what I'm seeing here is simply a list of all of the different variables that are part of this data set. So if I scroll down, I can see that there are 193 variables in this data set. So also it gives me some information about each of the variables within this data set. So if we look here at number 6, which is urban, we can see that that's the variable name. It's a numeric variable rather than a string variable. We can see the variable label as well as see the different value labels. We'll get into some of that a little bit more when we talk about variable coding. And also it's interesting to point out that SPSS will keep a note of the level of measurement of the particular variable for you. You can see in this case this variable is nominal. Some variables here are actually called scale variables. This isn't just simply another term for interval ratio. And there's also the option for for ordinal variables as well, although we don't see any of them here. So that's just a list of our variables. Then if we come down here to the data view and select that, This is actually going to be a list of all of our different cases in our data set. That is, all of the different people who responded to the questionnaire. So if we scroll down here, we go way down, and we see that there are 1,212 people or cases in this particular data set. So we'll very quickly scroll back up. So you can see that it's simply the cases here on the vertical axis, and then on the horizontal axis we see a list of all of the different variables in the data set, the case ID and the sex of the respondent, the state they were in, things of that nature. So, and also if we look up here, once again we can see that there are 193 variables on this data set. So again, when you open SPSS, you get the two different windows, this data variable window, which has the data view and the variable view, and also your output window. So it's kind of confusing if this one happens to be on top of your data variable view, because it's going to look like there's nothing there. However, go ahead and look at that second window, and that will get you started on a lot of stuff, and we'll get into more detail next time about what we're actually going to do in here. So that is how you open a data set in SPSS. Thank you so much and have a great day.